Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Adams Brothers podcast. We are here this evening with LaShawn and Rayshawn. They go by the name of Ray and La. They are twin sisters, and they live up in Laurel, Maryland. It's a little city between Maryland and outside of Virginia, I believe. And their last name is Middleton, and they are twin sisters, and they started up their own seafood business. Ray and La, welcome to the Adams Brothers podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
And you guys are twins. I can see that you are twins. One
yes,
just have
we are.
short hair, I believe, and you have longer hair. But you
exactly.
You look just alike, identical twins, I take it.
Yes, we are.
Well,
we're identical.
Yeah, we have twin brothers too as well, and they're identical. So.
Oh, cool.
Ronnie
oh, wow. Very cool.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
So, go ahead and tell us about your business. You opened up a seafood business. How did you get started in your with your seafood business?
Wow. Okay. So, we're born and raised Maryland, so we're true Marylanders, and our staple is the Maryland blue crab. So we kind of grew up eating blue crab our whole lives. One day we were sitting at home and we really were in the mood for some crabs, but it was raining, and we were just like, oh man, I really wish I could get crabs delivered to us, but no one did it. And it was kind of interesting because you would think Maryland someone would do it. So we just decided, oh, that would be cool if we started a business delivering Maryland steamed crabs. We kind of let it go, and then we went to brunch one day. And the owner of the restaurant came out and kind of gave us some really solid advice and told us, you know what, if you do have any business idea, just go for it, because, you know, the worst that can happen is you fail and you'll be right back where you are today, but that's still not a bad place to be. Yep. Which was great advice. And that day after brunch, we went home and made some flyers, and that weekend we decided to go out and put the flyers in our neighborhood. So. Yeah. It's very quick.
That's very interesting. So are you working do you have your own building that you work out of, or do you work from your home, or is it mobile, or tell us how do you you serve your seafood?
Yeah, okay. So when we first started, we were just serving just our friends and family, really. So we were cooking out of our home. So we did start from our house. And then once we started getting some more like people, more traction, we started to rent kitchens, and we would like move from kitchen to kitchen. And so we're what you would call a ghost kitchen, which is a new concept. So it's a new concept where you essentially you don't have a place where people can necessarily come in and dine in or anything. You just cook and you deliver the food. So now we're a place out of Washington, D.C. That's our main location, and we deliver out of that, and we do allow pickups now as well.
Okay. So have you ever thought about renting like a Winnebago and renting it or owning it and delivering your seafood and like mobile?
So we've thought about a lot of different things. We're actually in the process of trying to get a food truck. So we're in talks with a custom food truck developer, and we're working on that. So that's why we have a GoFundMe page right now, because we really could use a little support in terms of capital so that we can get the food truck to expand. Because we started with just me and my sister, and essentially because it was just us, it wasn't like super busy in the beginning, but because of all of the publicity, we're super grateful to say that we've been extremely busy, and we've been forced to kind of have to expand a little quicker than usual. So we did start a GoFundMe page, which you can find at gofundme.com/R&L Crabco. And that essentially is how we're planning to buy our food truck for our Laurel location. So yeah, we do plan on being mobile, but also keeping our DC location, hopefully opening the Baltimore location, and then our food truck, we'd like to keep it in the Laurel area.
Okay, all right. Wayne?
Yes. What makes your company unique?
Wow. Oh, wow. So what makes us unique is, so in Maryland, no one delivered steamed crab to your door. So you always had to go out and get it, and usually you had to drive to DC or Baltimore to get crabs, and usually it was like a distance to get it. Also, a lot of these places out here, most of them, they cook their leftover crabs, or they'll cook them in large batches, and they kind of will just like reheat them and give them to you type thing. Every single one of our orders is cooked to order. So as soon as we get an order, even pre-orders, we start to cook 30 minutes because it takes about 30 minutes to cook. We cook like 45 minutes to 30 minutes before the orders due. So we literally take it out of the pot and into the bag and we deliver it like right away. So
we also have a very specific recipe that we use, the specific spices, specific product that we cook it with, and we don't tell anybody what it is. And that makes our crabs different. Growing up in Maryland, we learned what ingredients you should use to make your crabs taste different. Yeah. So our crabs 100% stand out flavor-wise.
Okay, so do you ladies have 2 locations? Do y'all have 2 locations that you operate out of?
At the moment, we have just 1 location. We're still working on the 2nd location.
Yeah. Yeah, we're working on expanding on the 2nd location at this moment, but right now we do have 1 in Washington, D.C.
Okay, and what is your main role in the day-to-day operations?
That is a lot. So because we've gotten busier, it's actually us every single day learning new things. We have to learn payroll now, so we've been getting into that. Finding an accountant, finding just a bunch of different things that we have to find.
We do everything. So in the day-to-day, when we're actually open, I tend to focus on the cooking aspect of it. She tends to focus on organizing the delivery drivers, letting me know what orders I need. We also have to coordinate the times and coordinate what deliveries is going to go what time and change deliveries, because we're our number 1 motto is that we're never late. So we have to make sure that we leave at a reasonable time to give our drivers enough time to drive to their location. So it's just a lot of things that we have to do every single day.
Yeah.
Okay, and how do you advertise your business beyond in the Baltimore area, out of like the Baltimore area? Do you just advertise or do you just, because I know a lot of people, even though they in one area, they like have a Facebook page or Instagram page. Do you have any of that?
Absolutely. We have Instagram and Facebook. We use the Instagram and Facebook ads. Also with a lot of publicity, as the ABC news article just came out. So that's a lot of publicity for us as well. We've been on NPR, The Inquisitor. And so we've had a lot of interviews and stuff that helps us market our business as well. But mainly we started with Instagram and Facebook. Those were like our main, that was our main marketing platforms.
Yes, and I had read where you both have culinary degrees.
Yes, sir. So we both graduated from Johnson & Wales University with our culinary degrees.
Yes.
We
were chef for 7 years. Yeah, we were chef for 7 years, and right out of high school, we took a college course in high school for culinary, and then right after that, we went to Johnson & Wales University, where we have our associate's degree.
So we've kind of worked in all aspects of the restaurant.
Okay, and did you both lose your job last March during the COVID-19 pandemic? And how was it to work? What type of experience? Can you just tell our audience what type of experience was that, and how you got back on your feet real quick and bounced back?
Well, absolutely. So it was kind of interesting because we both worked at that time. We were servers in the restaurants now. So we did every aspect in the restaurant. So at the time we were servers, and our bosses were kind of talking about how we might be closed for maybe a week or 2. Yeah. Her boss, so we worked at 2 different places. Her boss was saying, I think it's going to be 2 months. So when we got the actual day that we got let go the same day. But my job called me first and told me that we were closing. Her job called her hours later, told them that they were closing. So we were calm. We were okay with it. We were like, okay, unemployment for a little bit. It's okay. It's going to be just like 2 weeks. Yeah. And then she was like, I think it's going to be 2 months. I said, even if it's 2 months, it'll be okay. It's fine. We'll go back to work. All this will blow over. After 2 months kind of passed, we realized, okay, this is getting serious. We might not have an opportunity to go back to work. And even when restaurants open, it's not going to be the same it was. It's not going to pay our bills. It's not going to, be what we needed it. So we knew we needed to figure something out.
And we also knew that they were probably going to shut down again in the winter time because of COVID.
And they did, ultimately.
Which they did ultimately. And so we knew that it wasn't guaranteed, our positions. After like the 4th month, that's when we started to be like, okay, we need to figure something out. We have to figure something out. And then that was one of the moments when we were just sitting there and we came up with the idea of Arnell, but we didn't really we didn't think we could really do it in the beginning, honestly, because we didn't know
people who had businesses and stuff. And then when we got the advice from a successful business owner, he was a African American man, and he told us, look, just go and do it. You have to just get up and do it, because you're never gonna do it if you just keep talking about it. He's like, yeah, that's true. And then we was like, let's just make flyers. Yeah, we pushed through the
went
fear.
home after brunch, just made the flyers. We said, just one step at a time, let's make flyers. And then she was like, well, let's put them out this weekend. And I was too scared. I actually backed out of it. I was like, no, let's wait. Let's wait till next week. But she got the courage to actually get up and do it. She's like, no, I'm going to go do it right now. I'm just going to go do it. We hadn't thought of prices. We hadn't thought of anything at that point. We just, let's just put out flyers. Because we didn't even think anyone was going to bite on the flyers, to be honest. But when she put out flyers, the last flyer she put out, someone was like, oh, I want some. And we were like, huh?
It was like, oh, okay.
So in that moment, we realized, okay, maybe we might actually have something. Let's try.
Okay, and you mentioned something interesting just now. You said you got some advice from a successful African American business man.
Yes.
How did you find it hard to get help or get advice from people when you were trying to break in the industry?
That's a really great question. Not necessarily, because at the time we weren't even really thinking about really starting a business. We were kind of just asking questions. So this guy was really, really open to help, in he was really open to answering any questions we had. And again, even when we were asking questions, we weren't really thinking about taking it seriously. We were just like, let me just ask questions to see what this guy says,
Because we were actually eating. We were just having a meal with our family. Yeah. And he came out and we was like, you know what? Let's just pick his brain. He gave us the advice and we was like, okay, cool. And it wasn't until we walked outside. I remember vividly, I stepped outside and I just paused and I was like, Ray, like, we have cars, we each have our own cars. And I was like, and we're trained chefs. Like, seriously, why couldn't we do it? And then she was like, I mean, I guess you're right. She was like, you're right. Like, we could do it ourselves and just see. And then that was basically how it just started. So the advice,
I would say though, in terms of advice though,
it has been a little hard.
Exactly.
I would say
after you start the business, once you make the decision to start the business, that's when you realize a lot of people will be tight-lipped.
Yeah, they don't really want to
learn that people will be tight-lipped because they want to keep the information they found to themselves. Mm-hmm. They want to make sure that you're not taking their stuff or things like that. And what we've learned is that we have to educate ourselves, and we need to figure out things on our own, and not what is it?
Like, we don't want to wait for other people to tell us. So we started reading a lot. We read a lot, and we educated ourselves, and we studied all day, every day. We were watching we watch a lot of motivational videos, like we really did. We study all of the successful people. So Oprah, Jay-Z,
Damon John,
Jack Dorsey, Damon John, all of them. Like, we study all of the people who were successful, and then we're like, okay, well, they're not that so different from us. So that's basically the advice we took, was from those videos.
Okay, Daryl, that's all for questions for me. All right.
Briefly, let's talk about haters. Now, we all have haters, right? We have them when we first started podcasting. We ran into some of that hate too. And I don't know why it is that way, but it is that way. And when you're first trying to start up a business, you all have people that's trying to put you down. Oh, they can't cook. Did you run into any of that from your haters, that, hey, they can't cook, their food don't taste that good? Did you ever let that stop you from pursuing your dream?
It's so crazy. So it would be to a point, because everything was so new to us. So when we had those kind of haters, to be honest, sometimes it would be people close to you that would kind of doubt you, and they wouldn't do it intentionally.
They just say it's a side business. That's nothing.
They would just kind of brush it off, like, oh, you're not doing anything serious. And it was tough. We're gonna be honest, it was tough. I mean, we would watch motivational videos to just keep us focused and keep us going. But we learned that comes with the territory, and there's no way. And me and her, we do not allow anyone to stop us from anything that we do ever. No. It's our number one thing. Like, we can't, no one from the outside can deter me and her. And we know that comes with the territory.
Another thing is we do not listen to people who don't have businesses.
It's
Like,
the number one thing.
and we were talking about this yesterday. We find that a lot of people who don't have businesses, you know, try to give you advice about business.
What you should do with
what
your
you should and
business.
shouldn't do, and it's usually after you've gotten some sort of success, that's when they want to give you advice. And it's like, you know, it is definitely something that we've dealt with a
We've
lot.
been learning about a lot of it.
But we just ignore it now because it's a lot of it. So, you know.
Well, when you're starting up a business, a lot of things it's trial and error. You're going to run into some things that you're going to have to go out and just step out on faith and try it yourself,
Yeah.
you know, and you're going to have those haters. We had them. We still have them. But you two young ladies are doing something very special up in the Maryland, Virginia, DC area there. You're doing something very, very special. And I heard you before we let you go. I heard you mention you have spices. Do you have a website that you post that you do sell your spices on your social media page, or are you selling those, or it just maybe like your little secret spices that you throw in that you don't tell anybody?
Yeah, it's just our secret spices. We don't really sell it. We don't tell anybody about it. We just
nobody.
keep that close to the heart.
Well, why don't you put it in a bottle? Put it in a bottle or a little thing and sell it, and you don't have to tell everybody what's in it. You know.
Someone
You're
mentioned
right.
it to us recently.
Yes, somebody recently mentioned that too. A friend of ours was
it.
like, you know, you should do that. I'm like, maybe we'll think about that. A lot of people want our hoodies too, so we're starting to get the hoodies done. And then a lot of people want us to ship crabs too, so we're working on that as well. So there's a lot of things that we got planned. Yeah, maybe the season too, maybe.
Well, that's good. Well, once again, before we go, tell them how they could get in contact with you if they want to buy your crabs. Give them your social media page, your Instagram or your Facebook page or your website. Give it to them once again.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
sure. So our website is www.randlcrabllc.com, and then you can also find us on Instagram and Facebook at R&L Crab Co.
We also have a GoFundMe, which is gofundme.com. It's going to be /RNL Crab Co.
All right.
And the and is spelled out A-N-D.
A-N-D. Okay. All right. Well, we were talking to LaShawn and Rayshawn Middleton. They go by the name of Ray and La. They are twins and twin sisters. We want to wish you the very best of luck. Keep on doing what you're doing. We love what you guys are doing, you young ladies are doing. Keep it up. And we wish you the very best. And don't let those haters stop you from doing anything. You keep pressing forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
For having us.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. And thank you for
I
stopping
wish y'all
by
much
the Adams
success.
Brothers
Thank
podcast.
you so much. We really appreciate it.
And
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for stopping by the Adams Brothers podcast. And you're welcome to come back anytime. Okay.
That's right. Anytime.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Have a good evening.
You as well.